No intro today. I think the title is pretty self-explanatory. My name is Eric. Welcome to my channel if you're new. Let's talk about the best banks, best high-yield savings accounts, best certificate of deposit locations that you could be putting your hard-earned money so that inflation doesn't continue to eat it up. Let me know in the comment section down below if you agree with my list. This list is in no particular order. If you feel like I missed a bank that I should have talked about, make sure to talk about it in the comment section down below to let others know. And also make sure to stay till the end because I'll be talking about one honorable mention just in case none of the banks on this list make your list. The first bank that we'll be talking about today is Capital One and the 360 checking and 360 savings accounts. Established in 1994, Capital One is a massive national bank that has been pushing the meta not only in the credit card market but in the banking market as well. 360 checking and savings accounts have the luxury of having no fees of any kind, meaning no monthly or maintenance fees, as well as no minimum to open and keep your high yield savings accounts. Not only that, but Capital One has made banking a little simpler and more comfortable by creating a seamless user interface system with their mobile app to prevent anyone from having any type of difficulty accessing their money. And with over 70,000 plus fee-free ATM locations such as CVS, taking out your money has never been easier. Did I mention that Capital One's 360 savings account clocks in at a competitive 3.3% APY, which is 11 times higher than the national average of 0.3%. And the 360 checking accounts have access to over 70,000 fee-free ATM locations, no fees or overdrafting on your account, and you can get paid up to 2 days earlier. Capital One's 360 checking account is something that I can personally attest to because I personally bank with them, and let me tell you, having your money 2 days earlier can sometimes be a lifesaver. If you're not satisfied to say that Capital One has some amazing banking features, let me introduce you to the 360 certificate of deposits and their competitive rates. For 1 year CDs, you can get an amazing 4.15% APY, higher than what any of the best high yield savings accounts are advertising. For 2 year CDs, you can get an amazing 4.3% APY, and for 5 year CDs, you can get an amazing 4.4% APY. These CDs accounts include benefits such as being FDIC insured, no minimum balance in order to open a CD account, and you can even pick and choose when you want your interest to be paid. Overall, Capital One is doing a lot of things right with their banking features and even more so with their credit cards, and is definitely one of the more competitive banks out there. Next on my list is Ally Bank. Ally Bank is an online banking platform headquartered in Detroit, Michigan that is also coincidentally one of the largest car finance companies in the United States. But obviously for this video, we're not going to be focusing on that side of Ally, and instead focus on why it makes my list on being one of the best banks that you could be working with in 2023. Ally Bank's checking and savings accounts are extremely competitive. For their interest checking account for accounts with less than $15,000, you can get an APY of 0.1%, and for accounts with more than $15,000, you can get an APY of 0.25%. As a checking account, those rates are a lot better than some of the other rates that are offered by more traditional national banks. Ally's online savings account isn't too shabby either, clocking in at 11 times better than the national average at 3.3% APY. Meaning if you were to put $10,000 into an Ally savings account today, after an entire year, you'd make $330 on interest alone, versus the measly $1 you'd get if you were to have invested somewhere else like JP Morgan and Chase. Plus, you can rest easy knowing that there's no sneaky fees or minimums when opening a new account with Ally. And two features that Ally has that I think separates them from other banks is two features called buckets and boosters. Buckets is a feature that allows you to create multiple savings accounts within the same savings account and have different priorities for them, such as creating one for emergencies, one for home, and one for vacations. Boosters is a feature that allows you to seamlessly save money without having to manually do it yourself. And not only does Ally Bank have some amazing checking and savings accounts, but if you're interested in certificate of deposits, Ally Bank has some amazing APYs as well. Ally has no penalty CDs, going at an extremely competitive 3.5% APY. There's no minimum deposits required, and you can withdraw your money at any time after the first 6 days following the date you funded an account and keep the interest earned with no penalties. And you can withdraw your money at any time after the first 6 days following the date you funded the account and keep the interest earned with no penalties. For normal CDs, the going APY right now for 12-month CDs is 4.15%, and for 18-month, 3-year, and 5-year CDs, it's 4.25%. Ally even has a CD called Raise Your Rates, where you can raise your APY rate once for a 2-year CD or twice for a 4-year CD. And just remember that the banks that I'm talking about today are in no particular order, and so whichever bank you decide is worthy of taking care of your money, all the banks that I'm talking about today are great choices. Alright, let's move on and talk about the third bank on my list, and that's with Wealthfront. Wealthfront is more commonly known as the automated investment service that is based in Palo Alto, California, but the part of Wealthfront that we'll be talking about today is their savings account, or more specifically what they call their cash account. Wealthfront savings accounts commands an extremely impressive 3.8% APY, which according to their own little graphic right here is 12 times better than the national average of 0.3%. The funny thing is that although 0.3% is the national average, tons of national banks still have extremely underwhelming savings account APYs. And considering the fact that the national inflation rate right now is around 7%, the discrepancy between savings account is extremely jarring. I know that I'd personally rather have my money fighting back against inflation instead of just sitting there and admitting defeat. And although Wealthfront is an online bank, you can get a free debit card and access to 19,000 plus free ATMs nationwide. And unlike other savings accounts that have certain limitations, such as only allowing up to 6 transactions a month, Wealthfront allows you to have unlimited fee-free transfers to external accounts. And like many other banks on this list, there's 0 account fees. You can transfer your money into a Wealthfront investment account in minutes. It's also FDIC insured for up to $2 million through Partners Banks. And checking their website right now, there's even a $25,000 sweepstakes you can participate in. It seems like to me that Wealthfront is doing a lot of things right, and that 3.8% savings account APY is no joke. Alright, moving on, let's talk about bank number 4, and that's Discover Bank. More commonly known for their amazing student credit card, the Discover a cashback credit card, Discover is also doing a lot of things right in the banking world. Discover Bank was named the best checking account and online banking experience by NerdWallet in 2022. You know, the year that just passed, and definitely has the benefits that can back up that claim. For the checkings account, you get access to over 60,000 fee-free ATMs worldwide, so that you'll never have to struggle to take out your own money. And on top of that, the free debit card that Discover gives you earns 1% cash back on up to $3,000 in debit card purchases each month. Usually any form of cash back is typically reserved for credit cards only, so it's great to see that Discover is offering something that usually is reserved for credit cards. And I know that there's people out there that believe in no debt of any kind, especially credit card debt, so it's kind of cool to see that Discover is offering something that is kind of a best of both worlds situation. They also have no fees of any kind, an extremely user-friendly mobile banking app, and is FDIC insured like every other bank in this video. And if you're not impressed just yet, Discover's savings account doesn't lag behind at all either. With the competitive 3.3% APY, their savings accounts also boasted benefits like no minimum deposit needed and no fees of any kind. And swinging over to the certificate of deposits, these numbers speak for themselves. Comparing them to Ally Bank's, Discover's 12-month and 24-month CDs are pretty comparable in APYs, clocking in at 4.15% and 4.3% competitively. But for the 5-year CDs, the 4.4% APY from Discover slightly edges out Ally Bank. And considering that the Federal Reserve is trying to do everything they can to lower the inflation rate, these abnormally high APYs won't last forever. And finally, the last bank that I want to mention today is American Express. Kind of an odd one, I know for a lot of people out there, American Express is kind of only known for their luxurious credit card lines. But did you know that American Express also has pretty competitive savings account APYs at 3.3% or competitive CDs at up to 4.25% rates? Like all of the other banks mentioned in this video, American Express's high yield savings accounts has no minimums or monthly fees, 24/7 superior customer service, and is FDIC insured. And I'm sure that by creating a relationship with American Express through the banking system will make getting their credit cards a little easier too. On the checkings account side, American Express bolsters a whopping 1% APY, which is 20 times better than the national average and is virtually unheard of. And you can have a debit card that earns you 1 American Express membership rewards point every single time you spend $2. On top of that, there's no maintenance, monthly, or fees of any kind to open an account, and you'll have access to over 37,000 MoneyPass ATMs worldwide with fee-free withdrawals. And before we talk about my honorable mention, I'm envisioning a question that I'm pretty sure will pop up in the comment section down below. And that question is, Eric, why do you keep mentioning certificate of deposits alongside high yield savings accounts? For those of you that don't already know, if you already invest in one of these high yield savings accounts, you probably noticed that the high yield savings account APY changes on a pretty regular basis. For me, I personally bank with Ally Bank, and I've definitely noticed a handful of emails that I've gotten over the years that have mentioned that my APY was going up. And while it's great to see my APY go up, the exact opposite can happen too. Certificate of deposits prevent this issue from being a problem because all of the ones that I mentioned today guarantee their APY rates for the lifetime of the deposits. Meaning, for example, if you bought a $10,000 5-year CD from Ally Bank, for the lifetime of that CD, you'll be earning 4.25% every single year. As opposed to high yield savings accounts, where if the Federal Reserve lowered interest rates tomorrow, I can almost guarantee you that your high yield savings account APY would lower as well. Alright, let's wrap up this video and talk about my honorable mention, and that's Sofi Bank. Sofi Bank has been gaining popularity over the past couple of years, and in 2021 made its public debut on the New York Stock Exchange. There's a ton of different products that the online finance company provides, such as student loans refinancing, credit cards, and mortgages, and obviously we're going to be focusing on their checking and savings account. Instead of having them separate like most banks do, SoFi decided to combine them together and create one singular bank account that has a 3.75% APY, but with an asterisk. That asterisk is there because that 3.75% APY is only available to customers that set up direct deposit with them. If not, the APY is reduced to 2.5%. With SoFi, you can enjoy no account fees, no overdraft fees, 55,000 fee-free ATMs within the Allpoint network, and up to 2-day early paychecks. Alright, that just about wraps up this video. Feel free to subscribe if you're new, like the video if you liked it, and comment in the comment section down below. Those of you out there that are new to the channel, hi, my name is Eric. I generally talk about everything credit card related, but more recently I've been making videos on broader financial topics such as these videos right here. The main goal for this channel is to provide informational and meaningful financial related content that everybody everywhere can enjoy. So again, if you'd like to support that dream, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And with that, thank you for watching as always. Until next time everybody, stay safe out there. Peace.